A big challenge for the Spartans. Draymond Green, their senior leader, Adrian Payne, a couple of the guys down low. Keith Appling really playing well as the young Spartans point guard. Meanwhile, for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, their inside play, not just Sacre Elias Harris as well, and Kevin Pangos, a very dynamic young point guard for these Bulldogs. The two head coaches we just heard from them, two of the best in the business. Mark Few here at home, Tom Izzo and his Spartans a long way from home here inside the kennel. As we get ready to go, Sacre and Payne will jump it up at center court. And the ball is controlled by Gonzaga. They have the first possession of the game. Spartans play their signature, very tough man-to-man defense. Mike Hart on the perimeter, more of a role player for the Bulldogs. Here's the freshman Pangos. Another freshman, Gary Bell Jr. out there on the floor. Pangos, tough shot, and it was partially blocked. Out of bounds off of Gonzaga, Michigan State basketball.
2 weeks ago, I broadcast the Michigan State-Florida State game. Michigan State's post defense was awful in that game. First possession much improved by Adrian Payne playing post defense. That, as we said in the open, that's huge in this game.
Spartans were still able to win that game. Nice win for Michigan State, part of their 7-game win streak after they dropped the first 2 games of the year to North Carolina and Duke. Tough pass. Hart almost stole it away. Loose ball. Bulldogs have it, and they have an advantage. Bell to the bucket, missed the shot. And now it's the Spartans coming the other way. In transition, Brandon Wood knocks down the 3.
And that's what Brandon Wood does. He runs the left wing looking for a jump shot. Transfer from Valparaiso, 5th-year kid. Good job by Keith Appling, who is not a point guard by nature, has developed into one, stopping, finding the shooter.
His development so important for Tom Izzo's team. And that development is happening. He has really improved since the start of the year. There's Harris face-up shot. Mike Hart, offensive rebound. Bell shoots the 3. He got it.
Great-looking freshman Gary Bell Jr. Strong, confident. Yesterday in practice, he was incredibly active.
His first start of his college career and a nice beginning to his starting assignment. There's Green, Draymond Green, along 2.
Well, you hear it all the time. Good defense, better offense. Michael Hart, terrific defense, forcing Green off the block. He just went out and made a shot.
Away from the ball, a foul against Michigan State, but Draymond Green, whom Dan was talking about.
Well, look here. Hart gets in front, forcing Green out. Green, being a senior, really has worked on his perimeter game. Just says, all right, that's what you're going to give me. I'm going to shoot it.
Green, who leads the Spartans in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. He is a do-everything player, but he lost his man there, and Elias Harris ties the game at 5.
Well, the biggest thing Draymond Green has done for Michigan State is lead. Tom Izzo puts him up there with the best leaders that he has, but you're right, he just got his head turned. Elias Harris just whipped him.
3-year captain for Tom Izzo's team, Draymond Green.
But if you're watching it, if you're watching at home or wherever you're watching, check out the post play. Very physical, on the block. Both teams going hard at one another.
Great look from Green, and Payne with the finish.
Yeah, roll replace action. Payne set the screen and dove. Green came up. Nobody got to Payne.
Early 7-5 lead for the Spartans. Bell into the lane, draws the foul.
This is a common play in college basketball. A little roll replace action. You'll see here, Payne sets a screen, rolls to the basket. Green comes up. No one rotates in to find Payne. That is a play that almost every team in college basketball runs. It's called roll replace. Pretty easy to defend if everyone comes to the lane.
And a good example of Green, as Bell rattles in the first free throw. 6'7" player, but such a good passer.
Gonzaga misplayed the scouting report today in their shoot-around. Mark Few's whole thing when Green got the ball on the perimeter was take away the basket. Green is a 28% three-point shooter. Don't worry about him. Worry about the basket. The Zags forgot to report.
Gonzaga, not often they show full court pressure, just a little token pressure there as Appling gets it across midcourt.
A great defense once again by Hart at the right elbow on Green.
Well, that's his role on this Gonzaga team. travel. 10 to shoot for the Spartans. Pass is tipped up and it goes off of Nix, out of bounds. That's a turnover, Michigan State.
Well, that time on the high ball screen, Nix set it, went to the rim. Everyone weak side for Gonzaga came to the ball, created traffic, and when you create traffic around the basket, you get a turnover.
A couple of turnovers early for the Spartans. Harris on the perimeter. Now Pangos. Kevin Pangos, a freshman, in his second game against Washington State in his freshman season. 9 threes and 33 points. He's got it here at the top of the key. Pangos with all kinds of contact. Hart keeps it alive again. The shot clock did not reset. Gonzaga didn't know it. Sacre finally got a shot off, but too late. And that's a Bulldogs turnover.
Well, they're on the opposite end of their bench, and the fans were trying to help Hart. But sometimes you get playing, and shot clock is the last thing you think about after you've made a hustle play to get a rebound.
Shot hit the backboard, but not the rim. So no reset. Mark Few's team turns it over. Freshman Brandon Dawson gives it back to Wood. Now Appling on the perimeter. Steps into a three. Dawson, excellent offensive rebounder. Missed the follow shot. Green now for three. And this time Harris high for the defensive board. Sam Dower just in, sets the screen. Here's Bell. His three goes.
Well, Wood and Appling missed a switch, no communication. And you can just tell that Gary Bell Jr. has a look in his eye like he's taking advantage of his first start. That's a bad shot.
Yeah, the three, no good. And Hart will get another loose ball rebound. Here's Bell, feeling it early. Finds his teammate Dower. Kennel. Spartans trying to handle the atmosphere early. Dawson had a good look, just couldn't finish.
Once again, everybody in the lane for Gonzaga forces a miss.
Dower has some range outside. No good on the three. Hart's just flying everywhere, but not that time. The outlet to Green, and he'll wait for his teammates. Up and down action here. A 7-0 run for the Bulldogs. Gonzaga leads. Dawson goes by Harris, and an offensive foul. Dower draws the charge. A couple of the young Bulldogs playing well here early. Gary Bell, his first ever start, and man, has he come ready to play. And then Bell finding his teammate Sam Dower. Bulldogs with the early 12-7 lead. Well, it was even colder than that last night overnight. The students were camped out again this morning in huge numbers, ready to get in the building. And how about that scene, Dan?
Why not? Why not? You're in college. What else you have to do but get ready for the big game? It's great. Wear a mask, some eye black, blue.
They got it all here in Spokane. They love their Zags, and they've had a lot to cheer about in the first few minutes of this game. Bulldogs have the 12-7 lead, and the basketball. Hart slipped, and good hands defensively. Jump ball will give it back to the Spartans. That's Brandon Kearney, who doesn't play big minutes, but has checked in for Tom Izzo's team. Michigan State with 11 players that they'll use frequently, so it's a deep Spartans team, even if, Dan, it's a pretty inexperienced team for Tom Izzo.
Yeah, 9 freshmen and sophomores. Right now, Travis Trice with the ball has been a valuable member as a freshman. 4 threes last time out.
Coming off his best game, so he's got a lot of confidence, and he shows you there.
He does have confidence. He looked in practice like he was going to come right in this game and make a difference. He was knocking in shots. He was leading. He was talking.
Appling draws a foul against Pangos, who turned it over at the other end. A little talking between the two of them. On a day where in college basketball we had an ugly scene at the end of a game in Cincinnati, Xavier Cincinnati. It's been quite a day for college basketball, Dan, and we expect a great game here in Spokane, but you had the Kansas-Ohio State matchup in Lawrence, and then of course in Bloomington, your Hoosiers. What a day for Indiana.
Indiana, Christian Watford was with the big three. Indiana's a very good basketball team. A lot of people doubted how good they were because of their strength of schedule, but you could see by how they were playing, particularly on the defensive end, that they're a tough beat. It's just going to be a difficult team to defeat because of how they play defense, how they hustle, and how they're together.
Now David Stockton just in the game turns it over. So the Bulldogs have gotten a little sloppier these last few minutes with the basketball. Stockton, of course, the son of the great John Stockton, one of the all-time best in the history of not just Gonzaga basketball, but the sport itself. David, a sophomore who's played real well lately for the Bulldogs.
You know, you've seen Gonzaga more than I have. I've been watching tape on him for the last week, but whether David Stockton's John's son or not, he's a terrific basketball player, and you can see when he comes in, usually the ball moves better and things get done.
The Zags do love to push the tempo. They like to be a fast-paced team. Marquise Carter, who didn't start, turns it over. So the Bulldogs now are giving up the basketball each time down the court. That's 4 straight turnovers.
One of the things that's very underrated about Michigan State is the use of their hands.
Kearney, nice jump shot, and the Spartans have the lead.
Well, Kearney's a kid that they know is going to be a good player. He a little bit behind because he's not real strong, hasn't shown a terrific offensive set yet, but certainly athletic. A terrific worker. Like, he is in the gym early, he's in the gym late. Even though he wasn't playing much, he's a kid that kept himself ready.
Almost another Gonzaga turnover. Gower from the left wing. Offensive rebound, Sacre.
Well, right now, Gonzaga needs to get the ball into Sacre. They're a little disjointed, throwing some lazy passes, taking some jump shots. They need to get the ball on the block.
They get it to Dower on the block. Sacre now on the perimeter. Tries that high-low pass, and it's a 5th straight turnover. Trice in transition. Appling with the shot fake. Trice clears some room, but comes up short. Stockton, outlet. Carter draws the foul. So in transition, Bulldogs will be getting to the free throw line. When we come back, we'll talk about Judd Heathcote, one of the all-time legends. He has ties to both of these programs here tonight. Well, before our game here in Spokane tonight, the two head coaches honored one of the greats of their profession. Judd Heathcote won a national championship at Michigan State, started his coaching career here in Spokane, lives here now. We talked to both head coaches about Heathcote.
I don't know if he'll enjoy it, but he'll certainly have a lot of opinions about it afterwards for both Tom and I.
Oh, it's great. You know, I mean, he's done so much for me, and I have such an appreciation for who he is, what he is, and what he's done for me. So I'm glad he'll be pulling for us tonight. I'm sure he will be, and yet he's very good friends with Mark and their staff. But I still think his colors are green and white, so I'm going to hold him to that tonight.
Well, Coach Izzo was right. I think that's a green shirt, Dan.
It's kind of light green, off green. Today was the first day in probably 25 years that when I saw him, he didn't punch me in the stomach. For some reason, every time he would see me, he would punch me in the stomach. But what a terrific head coach. You see the pictures there of Tom Izzo and Judd Heathcote.
He'll always be remembered in East Lansing for his national championship team with the great Magic Johnson. 1979, Tom Izzo was his top assistant when Heathcote retired from Michigan State. Izzo took over, and now Izzo is the all-time winningest Spartans head coach. But it's a treat for Judd Heathcote to be here tonight to see the Spartans and the Bulldogs, a Gonzaga team that he now follows very closely. He has season tickets here.
And there's a lot of reasons why Michigan State wants to play a game like this. The coaches always plays tough teams, but the main one is to bring Michigan State out to Spokane to see Judd as a testament to him.
A nice tribute, as the Spartans are going to be tested here tonight against these 22nd ranked Bulldogs. High game, 8.5 minutes in as the Spartans run their half-court offense. Payne back in. Green fumbled it a little bit. Now Trice calls a play with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Travis Trice, the freshman, lost the ball. Stolen away by Carter. Stockton shoots the three. Good!
Ralston Thornton went under the ball screen, and that's what the scouting report says. Keep Stockton out of the lane. He just stepped behind the ball screen, knocked it in.
David Stockton is 9 of 13 from 3 this year. He doesn't shoot a lot, but an extremely good outside shooter.
He only shoots wide open ones like that one. He's not a guy that's ever going to force it.
Tough shot from Draymond Green makes it a 1-point Gonzaga lead.
It's the first time Draymond Green has been comfortable. Draymond Green likes to back you down either block. He prefers the left block, but it's the first time you can see he had a little bit of rhythm to his postgame.
Pangos with Harris this time, the screen setter. Here's Stockton. Gets into that lane. A little floater was blocked.
And that's what you try to speed guys up. You try to speed guards up a little bit. And that's what Michigan State tried to do the second time. After Stockton hit the first one, speed him up when he gets into the lane, and they were able to do it. First time, right here, they just didn't fight through the screen. You're going to see a ball screen come, and just don't fight through it. Go underneath it, but you never want to touch the screener. When you're playing defense against a ball screen, the idea is don't touch the screener. So many kids want to grab the screener and play off the screener. Just don't touch it. Just get through it, high, low, whichever way, and go.
Wood curls into that jumper. Defensive rebound for Harris. Stockton on the bench now with a couple of fouls. Bell back in. There's a touch for Sacre down low. The double team came, and Thornton helped poke it away.
Well, great help by Thornton. That's what he is in there to do. A lot like Michael Hart of Gonzaga. Just make plays, be the glue guy.
Green, three-pointer, good.
Elias Harris was late getting back because he didn't hustle. There's a ball screen. You know you have to get back to Draymond Green. He didn't hustle on the play. And when you don't hustle, more times than not, you take a shot on the other and you're going to miss.
Harris missed the three there. Appling attacking, draws a foul. And it'll be a shooting foul.
Well, ball screens are a big part of this action, and you're going to see Elias Harris right there. He doesn't sprint back to Draymond Green. You have to sprint back, recover short and low, and with a hand up, make him put the ball on the floor and keep him in front.
The sophomore Appling at the free throw line. This is the first of two. Keith Appling with the foul on Harris. Appling, the sophomore, who's having to learn how to be the point guard, played off the ball last year, Dan, and lately he's played real well.
He has, because he slowed down a little bit. Michigan State, you can go back to Eric Snow, you can go through Mateen Cleaves. They always want a point guard to bust it up the floor and play really fast, which is fine when you're used to doing that as a point guard. Appling wasn't. Got going too fast earlier in the year. He slowed down now, more effective.
Last week shared Big Ten Player of the Week honors. Appling. Marquise Carter into traffic, and he traveled. Turnover, Bulldogs. Well, ESPN, your home court of college hoops. Tuesday, more college basketball coming up at 7 Eastern. The Tennessee Lady Vols against Rutgers. Then at 9 Eastern, Central Michigan and Minnesota. That's coming up on Tuesday on ESPN. Here in Spokane, 3-point lead for the Spartans with the ball. Appling wide open, but no good. Gary Bell. Pass was tipped out of bounds. Bulldogs will keep it.
You can see Gary Bell is built to score. He's not a guy that's used to handling the ball. Very lucky there. He was throwing a pass as the wingman Carter was back cutting. Pangos needs to be the ball handler with these other four.
If the ball hadn't been tipped out of bounds, it would have been thrown out of bounds. Gonzaga, 8 turnovers here recently. The alley-oop almost worked. Harris had a chance to dunk it home, couldn't do it. Here's Appling crashing into Pangos. That's an offensive foul.
That was great defense by Pangos. Rule of thumb, first guy back, sprint to the front of the rim. Pangos did that. Then he read the eyes of Appling. You see here, he's back. Now he reads the eyes, keeps his shoulders square outside the arc. Terrific defensive play. That's a skill in basketball. A lot of kids can get back, and guy goes by him and says, I got back, coach. No, you get back and then you make a play. And Pangos did.
Mark Few says he's been much better on defense than he's gotten credit for. He definitely gets credit for his offense. You saw it there.
It's amazing. You make a great hustle play, and you come back and offense follows. Earlier we talked about Harris being lazy on the defensive play. Excuse me, great defensive play. Offense follows. Harris made a very poor defensive play. Bad offense followed, if you can follow what I just said there.
Oh, I got it all, Dan. Don't worry about that. Spartans chucked the ball out of bounds. That's a turnover, Michigan State. Well, 7:57 to go first half. Rocking here in Spokane. And Kevin Pangos, that freshman we've been talking about, helping the Bulldogs battle against the Spartans. Thanks. So big news in college football. Meanwhile, in the NFL, Monday Night Football, just head on I-90, a couple hundred miles from where we are in Spokane to Seattle. The Seahawks will be hosting the Rams at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. You can also watch live on Watch ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. Well, Dave Fleming, Dan Dockage back in Spokane. Dan, a big difference in this game, transition defense.
Yeah, transition defense huge. You see here, Draymond Green doesn't sprint back to the front of the rim. Pangos gets back to the front of the rim. That's the difference in Green fouling on one end and Pangos taking a charge on the other. You sprint back, you get to the front of the rim, you don't let the ball get thrown over your head, you don't let the ball get dribbled past you, you're able to make a play. Green did not, Pangos did.
Spartans have, though, Dan, played good half-court defense. They have not given up a field goal attempt to the big man, Robert Sacre. He has not gotten a shot off from the field. Bulldogs have been sloppy with the ball lately, a lot of turnovers.
The reason Sacre hasn't gotten the ball is what they did in practice today. Tom Izzo talked to his post guys about getting their chest into his shoulder. And you just saw Derek Nix just did it right there. Was not able to let Sacre turn a corner and get position.
Bad pass, another turnover. Nix steals it away.
The reason Gonzaga's turning the ball over, all their passers are lifting up when they pass. When you get in traffic, you want to get lower than the traffic. Gonzaga's raising up and making turnovers because of it.
Offensive rebound for Thornton, who's really the Spartans' hustle guy off the bench. Price's three was way short. Bulldogs not much from the outside either in these last few minutes. Now enters it to Sacre, but a good ways away from the basket. He'll try to get a little closer. Sacre, the tough move.
Sacre scored on Nix, but that was on Draymond Green. Draymond Green came over to help, and instead of moving his feet and taking away Sacre's shoulder, he kind of reached. And when you reach on a kid as strong as Sacre, he's going to go score.
Sacre could well be the player of the year in the West Coast Conference this year, the senior leader of the Bulldogs. Now on defense. Zags back up by one. The look to Nix, but he couldn't quite handle the low pass. He lifts Pangos off the ground with the jump ball situation. Pangos held on for dear life and gets the ball back for Gonzaga.
Well, let's look at the last possession, Draymond Green, and where he is and what he should do. Sacre's going to make a move into the middle of the lane. Here's Green. Keep your eyes on him. He comes over, and instead of moving his feet getting in there, Green just reaches. Now, on the other end, remember earlier in the game, here's the same look at it. Right here, Green's going to come into your picture, and he just reaches instead of putting his body, moving his feet, taking away the left shoulder, which, again, is on the scouting report, takes Sacre's left shoulder.
Pangos on the perimeter. Mike Hart trying to get the ball down low. That was a bad pass. Ripped away by Green. Turnovers already for the Bulldogs, usually very good at taking care of the ball.
Hart was just a little sped up trying to get the ball in the post. He knows it's been difficult. You don't have much time to get it in there.
Nix from the elbow area, fumble the ball away.
Yeah, he can't dribble more than one time.
Bell in transition, nice scoop shot.
That's what Gary Bell Jr. is. A scorer. Go to the rim. Don't be a ball handler. 1-2 dribbles always towards the rim or pull up and shoot.
The freshman Gary Bell has 10 first-half points. Zags back up by 3. Green just being hounded by Hart. Tries to get by him with the dribble.
A terrific move. Draymond Green going to his right hand. When you have Green on the side, you can't let him in the lane. You've got to keep him out of the paint area, force him to the baseline. Hart not able to do it.
Harris posts up against Green. Elias Harris, little spin move, too strong. Appling will slow it up in the half court.
Appling slowed it up because Green and Nix were exhausted and couldn't get down the other end.
Spartans are going to have to use their depth here tonight. Green with the move, left hand with the foul.
That's a staple move of Michigan State. Hit the high post. Guard goes screen, bring the post ball side. Sacre, again, you see him reaching in. Jumping to the ball is a fundamental of defensive play, meaning when the pass is made, you literally jump to the basketball. When you fail to jump to the basketball, you arrive late. And when you arrive late, the offensive player either scores, gets fouled, or both.
Green, their leader, having a nice first half himself. He completes the three-point play, and he'll get that breather that maybe he was looking for.
Yeah, it's always funny. Green was laboring down the floor. He gets a three-point play, and he goes off the floor sprinting. It's amazing what scoring will do for a guy's energy in basketball.
Little pep in his step. After the nice move and finish. There's an entry pass to Dower. And they call the foul against Dower posting up.
That's a good call. I was watching that, and Dower just destroyed Gauna on the left block stepping in. There was absolutely nothing he can do, and that's a point of emphasis for officiating post play. Defensive player has every bit the right to the position as the offensive player has.
Mark Few wasn't happy with the call.
Mark Few was mad. Tom Izzo was happy.
Usually works out that way.
Yes, it does.
Appling. Keith Appling with the bump. No good. Payne went high up, couldn't get the offensive board. And here's Bell again. Gary Bell, he's just not slowing down. And a blocking foul called against Michigan State.
Gary Bell's going to be a star. He is built to score. He is strong. He is confident. He's not a point guard. He's a scorer. And right there, Wood's back, but a scorer just has the ability to step around a set defender.
Checking to see if, with all that contact, any blood was drawn, I think.
When you play against Michigan State, generally blood is drawn.
That's a part of the game plan for Tom Izzo.
It's just the way it is.
Now this is a little different in college basketball this year. They're allowing a slight delay to clean up if there's any blood. Before, it was automatic. The player had to come out of the game. Now they'll pause, give the team a chance to try to clean that up and let the players stay in the game. So while they do that, we want to remind you that Monday Night Football, the Rams come to Washington State, play the Seahawks in Seattle on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern. Also available live on Watch ESPN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's. Let's take the I-90 from here in Spokane all the way across Washington State. We're in far eastern Washington, close to the Idaho border. 279 miles, I'm told.
Everybody told me from Indianapolis, where I live, to Spokane was going to be difficult. It was really easy. Flight to Denver, flight right in. And Spokane is a wonderful city. We had a great dinner last night.
Great college town, and they sure do love their Bulldogs.
They do. They were a lot of activity downtown last night. Good food, great place.
I particularly enjoyed it because you picked up the check, so that made it one of my favorite dinners of all time.
That's what I do. That's just what I do. You go to dinner with me, chances are I'm picking up the check.
You and I are going to be working together a lot. Bell makes one of two free throws. 1 point lead for the Spartans. Tough guy kind of first half here in Spokane. There's Gauna. Gauna knocks down the shot.
Well, that's what he can do. He's a pick and pop guy. And he has played very well in practice, according to the assistant coaches, and has been rewarded with playing time. And scored 8 points, career high last time out against Central Connecticut State. Very confident in doing it, being rewarded.
A little more depth for the Spartans. Still plenty of time on the shot clock for Gonzaga. They're working against the tough half-court defense. Bell, shot fake. Stockton, quick release on the three. Offensive rebound, Mike Hart. Resets.
And Mike Hart is a tough kid. Mike Hart is a very valuable player in this game on both ends.
Rejected by Payne there. Harris's shot attempt. Wood fumbled it. Payne runs the floor and scoops it in.
That's just hustle by Adrian Payne because Wood was out of position.
Now Stockton leads Dower, who travels. And a couple of calls going against the Bulldogs. These fans not real happy, but Michigan State playing well.
Michigan State playing real well. You see Adrian Payne with the block. Throw ahead to Wood. He's a little out of control, but Payne after the block hustles and is rewarded on the other end.
All right, Adnan, thanks. So you got the highs in college basketball today. That great scene in Bloomington, and the lows. A very ugly scene at the end of the Cincinnati Xavier game.
I thought it was disgraceful, disgusting. People may think I'm crazy when I say this, but I have never understood, either as a player or a coach, why you don't get arrested for punching somebody on the basketball floor. I used to tell my players, look, you make a punch, I'm going to suspend you, but you may also get arrested. You know, in basketball, you play basically in what you would wear to the beach. You're in shorts and a tank top is basically what you're at. If you punch somebody like that in the street, at a bar, in a parking lot, wherever, you're going to be arrested. And then the kid from Cincinnati comes off the bench and kicks a helpless player. If he were on my team, he would never play basketball for my university again. I'd have to really look at the punch and see what all transpired then. But the kid that kicked freeze when he was down and then backed away, it was a cowardice thing to do. Kicks, backs away. He would never play basketball on a team that I coached ever again. He wouldn't go to school, keep your scout, whatever the school made me do, but he would never play again.
Well, strong words, but I think appropriate in this situation. That was about as ugly as it gets. Sacre, trying to muscle his way up, will draw the shooting foul.
You know, Dave, I did. Guys used to try to fight in practice, and I'd say, look, you do that in a game, you take a swing at somebody. I just never understood why you weren't arrested. And I know that sounds bad, but a hockey player got arrested a few years ago, and it's just something I've always told players, and more to, get them thinking about it. But
well, I think your point in large part is anywhere else in the world, anywhere else you are, you punch a guy in the face, that you're charged with assault.
You're going to have to answer to that. And
Draymond Green is a little shaken up. So he'll try to catch his breath while Robert Sacre shoots free throws. Man, this is a big part of Sacre's game, getting to the free throw line, but not just getting there, making the free throws. And Green's going off into the locker room.
Tom Izzo was nice enough to give me 6 keys to the basketball game from his perspective written out. Number 1, keep them off the foul line, especially Sacre, because he is 58 free throws in 60 games.
Well, they've done that in large part in this first half. Those were his first 2 free throw attempts. He made them both. Michigan State on a nice run here. They've got the 5-point lead. Some pressure as the Spartans bring the ball up the court. Those free throws ended in an 11-1 Spartans run. Final 2 minutes of the first half in Spokane. Payne, not usually much of an outside shooter. Rebound goes to Sacre. Stockton got cut off there in transition. Dower trying to get position down low. Now he comes out to set the screen. Nifty pass, and Sacre underneath the basket was fouled before the shot attempt.
Boy, Tom Izzo is all over Gauna because he let Sacre step in, as you see Draymond Green coming back. But boy, Tom Izzo went all at Gauna. It's the first time they had spread the court Gonzaga and opened up the middle under the basket for Sacre. And Tom Izzo wanted to make a point to everybody. That's not what we're doing in this game.
Gauna, the point made, he sits on the bench. 1-1 for Sacre. Earns the second. And 2 trips in a row. Sacre gets himself to the free throw line. Big part of the game plan for the Bulldogs. 4 for 4.
Little nuisance press here. Somebody has to come to the middle for Michigan State. Now against this zone, middle, then look down.
They left Payne open from the free throw line. He makes him pay.
The rule of thumb in the middle of a zone is shot, look down, then look opposite. Payne took his time, very composed there.
Well, maybe the design was to let him have that shot. Another foul is going to be called against Knicks. It'll send Sacre back to the line.
When you come into the middle of a zone right here, you are to look shot down to the next man right here stepping out, or if you catch it here, opposite. Let's roll it and see what Payne does. Takes his time. He looked opposite, down. Very comfortable shooting the ball, and you may be right. In watching tape on Gonzaga, they leave the middle open. They want to protect the basket. I'm not sure they wanted to give that much room, but they did. They did talk today as well about protecting the basket first in their zone.
Well, I agree with you. The design may be, let's make Payne beat us from the perimeter, but not completely and totally uncontested.
No, you can guard the basket and fake at the guy with the ball. You can fake it, Payne, just to make it a little bit make him a little bit uneasy.
Well, Sacre now 6 consecutive free throws, all of them made. The last 3 trips for the Bulldogs. 3-point game, Spartans lead. Trice. Now Payne floating through the air. What a first half for Payne.
Well, he has been terrific, and he's staying within what he can do. Run the floor, finish around the rim. Looking very, very much improved over where he was 2 weeks ago against Florida State.
Stockton's 3. Second of the half for David Stockton. Timeout, Michigan State. Dad's happy. We'll take the timeout ourselves. 2-point lead, Michigan State. 2-point lead, Michigan State, but David Stockton with a 3 on the other end, Dan.
Well, there's a couple ways to attack his zone. One is get in the middle. The other is set a screen. You're going to see Mike Hart right there. Set a good screen and free David Stockton. Dave, I'm telling you, I practiced last night, and it was a full practice. David Stockton missed every shot he took. I mean, every shot, and looked bad doing it. He was off left. He was off right. There are 3 ways you should miss a shot if you're a shooter: short, long, or in and out. Never left and right. And he was missing all over the ice yesterday, but put the big-time lights on. There he is.
I forgot to tell you, Dan, he is a game player.
Obviously. Yeah.
Now a whistle, and on the out-of-bounds line. That's a turnover out of the timeout for Michigan State, and it means Gonzaga will have a chance with the shot clock off for the final look of the first half.
Tom Izzo has always been so good out of timeouts and takes great pride in getting something for his players out of a timeout. And he just had a look of disgust, dismay, whatever you want to say, after that turnover.
He still got that look. Now he's got to set up the defense. What do you think he and the Spartans will be looking for here?
Well, I think Gary Bell is somebody you're going to have to play during this possession, either off of a ball screen, and every possession you're going to have to deal with Sacre. Last thing, and I know I'm basically telling you everybody on the court, but a lot of coaches, when a kid hits a shot, they go right back to him. Stockton hit the last one. Don't be surprised if they don't at least try to get him a look.
Very entertaining first half. Final 32.5 seconds. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockich with you from the Kennel in Spokane. Spartans' big-time program. They've come on the road to play the ranked Bulldogs in their gym. And here we go. Final possession, if the Bulldogs have their way, of this first half. Stockton handling the ball. Bell with a touch. Michigan State guarding him tightly. So plenty of time here. 15 seconds to go. Final 10 seconds of the half. And Stockton handling. Now 6. Screen from Sacre. Stockton draws a foul. Maybe sold that call a little bit, but David Stockton will be going to the free throw line.
He was able to sell the call because he got low. Nix was above him. Watch it right here when he turns. He's going to get low right there. And by getting low, you get under a bigger defender, you draw a foul.
There is still some time left, 3.9 seconds. Double bonus time. Stockton misses, a rare miss for him from the free throw line.
Stockton's just one of those kids, the more you watch, the more you like. And that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you hear of a kid and you watch him at first, you think, wow, he's really good. And then the more you watch him, the less you think of him as a basketball player. Not David Stockton.
Second free throw on the way. Makes that one. And now a substitution. Carter in for Stockton as the Spartans try to get off the final shot. Nice first half for Stockton. Here's Wood. Brandon Wood gets off the 3. No good. And a halftime horn sounds. It's a 1-point lead for Michigan State. A very spirited first half here in Spokane. 35-34, Spartans lead. Now, beautiful wintertime scene in Spokane. Spokane Falls, just a mile or so from here. Start of the second half. In the kennel, Gonzaga trails Michigan State 35-34. Welcome back here to Spokane. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockage with you. And Dan, the first half, a very spirited first half on both sides. But as we revisit our one-on-one, the stuff that you talked about at the Open, the fans behind us know Gonzaga needs to do a little bit better job in the paint.
They do. Michigan State outscored Gonzaga 14-8. Now, there's a lot of ways to get the ball in the paint. Here, Draymond Green just goes and bullies Michael Hart. But running, transition, follow-up, things of that nature are huge in this game. Adrian Payne was terrific. Now, Sacre needs to get going. Robert Sacre has one shot. This is his only shot of the game. But by being physical and being tough, he's been to the line 6 times. Points in the paint, whether they're offensive rebounds, runouts, what drives into the lane, whatever it is, determine this game.
Draymond Green, Adrian Payne, both with very solid first half for the Spartans. They'll need more of that here, playing on the road in this hostile environment against Gonzaga as the second half gets underway. The Bulldogs are almost unbeatable here. 93 wins in 98 tries since they opened the McCarthy Athletic Center.
That's why you heard Mark Few in the Open say, oh, it's really nice to be home.
Yes.
Really, no kidding?
That was some insight from the fantastic head coach of the Bulldogs. He's had a great 13 years here at the helm. Spartans ball and a quick turnover. Elias Harris was going to slow it up. Didn't have numbers, so Gonzaga with the turnover, now with the ball and a chance to get the lead. Barry Bell Jr., freshman with the ball on the right wing, got his first start here tonight and had a great first half. Harris, free throw line jumper. Sacre, offensive rebound and the putback.
Well, Robert Sacre, everyone I have talked to says he has trouble rebounding out of area. Meaning if you lift your hand straight up from your shoulders, that's your area. That time he was able to reach out his left hand, go out of area, corral the ball, and go get a basket.
Gonzaga back up by 1. There's Green. Another bucket for Draymond Green.
That was just determination by Green. Green was mad at himself for making a bad pass to start the half.
Payne rejects a shot from Hart, but a whistle and a foul.
But watch how Sacre here on the offensive rebound goes out of what his normal area would be. Again, straight up is your normal area. Here, he reaches far out with his left hand. That has been, rebounding has been a problem for Sacre last couple games. He has not been able to corral balls that just weren't simply in his area.
Shooting foul. Mike Hart goes to the free throw line. Mike Hart, a walk-on with the Bulldogs program, who's turned into a starter from Portland, Oregon. He had a nice first half, Dan, hustling and making some plays underneath the basket, rebounding the ball.
And you can see why Mike Hart is really needed on this team. They have scores. Harris, Sacre, Bell, Pangos can all score. They got to rebound. Guard bigger, guard smaller, can guard multiple positions.
Makes both free throws. 1-point lead Gonzaga. He and David Stockton, who's played well here tonight, both entered this program as walk-ons. Appling looks to his head coach, Tom Izzo. Now runs the play. Green for three. Good.
But Draymond Green has a real determination. Again, sloppy to start the half, but was able to get that off of a pick and pop. And when Green can step into his shot and get in a rhythm, he's a deadly shooter. When he rushes things, not so much.
Harris, offensive foul. Scored the ball, but they'll wave it off and call Harris for the foul.
Again, Draymond Green right there. Draymond Green has developed into a nice pick and pop player. Not a low post guy anymore. He'll set a screen and then he's going to pop out to the wing. Bell kind of fakes at him late getting there. But when Draymond Green, there's like a little instance where he catches, takes his, and then he makes the shot. When he rushes, gets going too fast, he doesn't make.
He's got 19 of their 40 here tonight.
Well, Adrian Payne really frustrated. He was working hard against Sacre, didn't get the ball.
Now he gets it on the baseline. Off iron, offensive rebound, and then Hart was there to just rip it away. Dawson was on the baseline when he had possession, so to go back to Gonzaga.
That was just a fight. Dawson went up over everyone. And then it became a fight. Dawson just happened to come down out of bounds.
What an athlete Brandon Dawson is, but still developing.
Now, he doesn't have great offensive skills. Shooting is difficult, but he can run, he can rebound, he can sit down and defend.
He's guarding Hart there. Another whistle, and it's a travel. So not an offensive foul, but Elias Harris turns it over again.
And Draymond Green once again. The travel kind of bailed out the call, block charge. Certainly did travel, but whether or not contact was involved, we'd have to see it again.
Elias Harris, one of Gonzaga's best players, has just 2 points. More turnovers than points for Harris in this game. Now, Sacre is going to be called for a reach-in. He poked the ball away from Payne, but a foul against the Gonzaga big man.
Again, something to watch at home is these two guys right here, Sacre and Payne. They are battling. To me, that's just a play on.
And Sacre was upset that he got called for the foul. Payne down low. Good look, and Dawson reverses it in.
Well, Payne playing out of a double team. Did what you're supposed to do when you're in a double situation. Look under the rim, and Dawson happened to be there.
Sacre on the block, one-on-one against Payne. Green helps, but Sacre goes through and missed the shot. Spartans with a 4-point lead plus the ball. Green really feeling it. Draymond Green again scores.
You can see running down the floor how Draymond Green is feeling it. He's going to complain about this foul, but he absolutely fouled Sacre. What Michigan State has done, Dave, is they tried to meet Sacre early. That time Green did and fouled. Here you're going to see Green just with a determination, and Mike Hart just no match for him. Now there, this has been going on all game. Green and Payne have met Sacre at the free throw line. It's called doing your work early against a post man. That time, Green didn't meet him square shoulders. He met him off the side, extended an arm. That's an easy call for an official.
That is his 3rd foul, leading everybody with those 21 points. The captain of the Spartans having a big game, Draymond Green. Now Gonzaga on offense. Sacre, a little up and under, and scores the basket with the foul.
Watch Sacre get low here. He's going to go to his right shoulder, fake. He's low, And when you're low, you can power through things. Watch, right here. He gets low right there. And then is able, because he's low, he uses his hips, his legs, powers through nicks.
Sacre will shoot the extra free throw. He's 6 of 6 at the line. Really quiet start to the game, Dan. He's really turned it on.
You kind of make fun, I guess, of somebody saying, well, the paint's going to win the game in basketball. But really, many times with three-point line, it doesn't. It's kind of forgotten in some games. Well, in this game going in, both coaches knew, both coaches understood, and both coaches worked on. Let's establish the paint. Let's keep going there no matter what the situation is.
Now another whistle. This one's going to go against Hart, trying to come around over the top and defend Draymond Green. He and the Spartans with a 3-point lead here on the road in Spokane. More college basketball on ESPN on Tuesday. First at 7 Eastern, Pat Summitt and her Tennessee Lady Vols against number 11 Rutgers. Then at 9 Eastern, Central Michigan and Minnesota. The home court of college hoops on ESPN, ESPN3, and also streaming live on WatchESPN.com. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockich here in Spokane. 3-point lead for Michigan State. Big game for their captain, Dan, Draymond Green.
This is the best I've seen Draymond Green in the 2 years of working ESPN and working Big Ten games. 2 threes in the game. He's 8 for 10. But even more than the shots you're seeing go in, he has had a real determination. Now, I think Mark Few may take a look at getting Harris or a bigger body on Draymond Green. He is very, very comfortable against the smaller Hart. Here he's against Sacre.
Gets a touch immediately and draws a foul. Sacre thought he blocked it cleanly, but the whistle and the foul will send Draymond Green to the free throw line already with 21, just 5 away from his career high.
Well, he's a kid that knows how to score. He's been the 6th man of the year in the Big Ten, has scored over 1,000 points. But sometimes he has a tendency to want to showcase his game, meaning show that he can shoot a jump shot, as opposed to take what is coming to him, and he's done that in this game. He's taken the threes that have been there, and he's been very determined on the block.
3 fouls on Sacre, so he'll go to the bench. We'll see for how long. Dower came in to replace him.
Yeah, Dower might be a good matchup for Draymond Green. Because on the other end, Harris can guard Knicks. I'm certainly not telling Mark Few what to do. He's won more games than I ever will, but they have to take a look at a bigger body on Green.
Dower gets the ball immediately down low. It was fumbled away, but off of Thornton, so Gonzaga keeps it.
If you're going to post up, you can't post up on the same side as Mike Hart, because the player, the defender, in this case it's Thornton, is always going to dive down onto the postman on that side. So you're going to have to look at the other side and post with Bell as the feeder or Pangos.
Because Hart's just not much of an offensive threat. Hart has it right now. Guarded by Brandon Wood. Back to Harris, who's had a tough game. Spin move rejected. It goes off of Dower, out of bounds. Another block for Payne.
And Payne, just by being in front of the rim, by doing what his job is, which is play center field on the drive, is able, just because of positioning, to get a block.
Harris is 1 for 7 shooting the ball tonight. He's got 2 points. The guy averaging better than 13 a game. Keith Appling, point guard for the Spartans. Gets it back on a handoff with 13 on the shot clock. Thornton into the lane. Thornton rejected by the rim. Pangos has been pretty quiet. That was a tough shot. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Dower, then stolen away. Appling one-on-one. Appling, what a move.
It is an absolute war underneath the backboard, and the guy who wasn't involved in the war was Appling. He just reached in, made a steal, made a layup.
7-point lead for Michigan State. Timeout, Mark Few and Gonzaga.
Well, everyone's battling under the basket. One guy that wasn't battling is Keith Appling. Right there, he's just out there, pretty aware, and then Keith Appling in the open court is a very good finisher.
A legend of college basketball, former Michigan State head coach Judd Heathcote here tonight in Spokane, watching the Spartans with a 48-41 lead against Gonzaga. Before Coach Heathcote's great college coaching career, he started right here in Spokane at West Valley High School, where he was a very successful longtime head coach. Went from here at the high school level, took over the Montana program, had success there, went to Michigan State, won a national championship with Magic Johnson, and now has moved back to Spokane, so he lives here and watches Gonzaga all the time.
And one of the truly funny guys in college coaching. His interviews were always classics, his quips, his quotes, and a terrific basketball coach.
He's developed a lot of head coaches who still are working in the game today, including that guy, Tom Izzo. The Spartans with their biggest lead. Pangos too strong on the three. Rebound Michigan State. Gonzaga's going to need a few of those shots to go down. Spartans have a chance to open this game up here. Green sets the screen, stays outside, shoots another three with the shooter's touch.
Well, he is really feeling it, and coming down the court, he's talking. You know, you always find the more a guy talks to his teammates, the better he plays.
Harris needed that one to go.
Yeah, didn't play well there.
He has matched his career high with still better than 13 minutes to go. Draymond Green. That was a big bucket, though, for Gonzaga. Pangos matched up with Green here on the perimeter. Applin, nice crossover move. A lot of contact. Now a whistle and a travel violation.
You have to find something you get comfortable with offensively. Michigan State has been comfortable with the high ball screen set here by Draymond Green. Then you're going to see once again, Draymond Green's going to pop, set his feet. For Gonzaga, there is nothing that they have offensively that is comfortable for them right now. The pick and pop action is comfortable for Michigan State. I think it's going to be Sackley in the block, on the block for the rest of this half. If I'm Gonzaga, every guard has to look first at Sackley when he gets down to the block before a shot is taken.
Harris back to Bell, who's been quiet in the second half after a great first half.
Great defense by Payne on Sackley. They were trying to get it.
And goes into the lane. Here comes Trice quickly attacking. Wild shot. Rebound Payne. He went over the back. That's a foul against Payne.
Pangos missed the jump shot a couple possessions ago, but look, the best he's looked all game, went straight up, just shot it long, and you can see he got a little confidence here. He just whips Trice, goes up, uses the basket as a shield. He's the kind of kid, and you know this better than I, Dave, he's the kind of kid that can really get rolling. And like we're talking about with Green with a real look in his eye, Pangos now has that same look.
The freshman who in his second college game right here against Washington State, a Pac-12 opponent, had 33 points, made 9 threes in that one. Harris down low, working against Green. Tough shot, no good.
Give Green credit. He was whipped the previous possession. He got tough instead of sulking. He got mad and played good defense.
And playing good defense with 3 fouls already. There's Green. Harris on him this time. Pass was deflected by Stockton out of bounds. Timeout here in Spokane. Tough guy game. Michigan State 51, Bulldogs 45. Night. It's cold here in Spokane, Washington. Michigan State on the road against the 22nd ranked Bulldogs with the 6-point lead behind their senior leader, 3-year captain for the Spartans, Draymond Green, having a career kind of game.
And he's 9 of 11, and he's doing what Tom Izzo has come to love about him, which is lead. He has put himself in a position on the team of not only performing but leading, and everybody's following.
He had a nice entry pass to his other big guy, Nix, there. And that's what you were talking about earlier, Dan, the versatility of his game, the ability to do a little bit of everything.
And he's being helped because Nix and Payne are far better than they were a couple weeks ago when I did their Florida State game.
Sacre rejected. Michigan State sort of withstood a push from the Bulldogs before that last timeout. Still up by 8.
Now, even on this possession, Green has told 3 different guys to go 3 different places.
Here's the general on the floor. Appling got himself to the basket, then missed the shot. And maybe an advantage here for the Bulldogs. Stockton trailed in transition. Marquise Carter, real quiet tonight. Mangos just trying to find an opening, threw the ball away.
He did that 4 times in practice. What he does is he sees a player on the wing, and he throws the ball very hard in a short distance as he's turning his head away to go do something else. He did it in the Notre Dame game. He did it 3 times in practice on the left side, 1 time in practice yesterday on the right side. It's kind of an immature move that he makes, and you would expect something like that from a freshman.
He goes to the bench. Gonzaga with still 10.5 minutes to go. They've turned the ball over 17 times tonight.
And many of them have just been sloppy, get upright, get above the defense instead of below the defense type turnovers.
Yeah, you give a lot of credit to the Spartans, but some of them have been unforced errors. Now Harris called for the foul. Thought he had a breakaway. Instead, he's got a personal foul. Trice now playing point guard for Michigan State. Keith Appling on the bench. Trice, good outside shooter, gives it up. Nix on the low block. Almost had it poked away. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Spartans. Wood, scoop shot off the glass.
Wow. Terrific defensive possession by Gonzaga. Wood just put his head down and does something that he's not really known for, which is drive the ball.
Harris shoots a 3. Off to the side, no good.
This ball for Gonzaga, they have to look at Sacre. Shots aren't falling. Crowd's a little frustrated. They're reacting a little bit out of frustration with the crowd. Throwing the ball inside solves all that.
Green gets a touch along the baseline. Gets it into Nix with the left hand. Nice touch from Nix.
There's no excuse for that from Sacre. Nix has to go to his right shoulder, and you sit on that right shoulder. Sacre went for a fake, allowed Nix to go to his right shoulder.
Another timeout for the Bulldogs. Biggest lead for Michigan State, up 57-45 here in Spokane. Well, back here in Spokane, where Michigan State has opened up their biggest lead of the game, 57-45, just over 9 minutes to go here in the kennel. And the Spartans have to be pleased with the way things are going these last few minutes. Tom Izzo's team opening up the lead. Gonzaga does have the basketball. They need to kick it into gear.
They need to kick it into the post.
Better point. Here's Bell for 3. No good. So again, an outside shot. Nix saved it inbound.
Yeah, that's 2-pass contested 3 with Harris trying to work to get post position.
The big guys for the Spartans. Nix, Green, Payne. Done great work tonight.
You know, and credit Michigan State's guards as well. They've made the team hang on to the ball.
Nix, he has come to life.
Boy, another great pass on the high-low. We talked about it to start the show. High-low is a big emphasis for both teams. That's where the ball has to go.
Look for Sacre, and he draws a foul.
Draymond Green is having an All-American type of night. He's scoring, he's passing, he's leading. key for him is not to pick up a fourth foul here as we have 8:14 left.
Well, Tom Izzo's going nuts because he can't believe that they credited Sacre with a shooting foul to get to the free throw line.
I think what he said was to get a shooting foul, you have to shoot the ball, which makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Sacre missed the first free throw, his first miss at the line in this game. Sacre has had to work for everything tonight. And Dan Dockage talked about it right at the top of our broadcast. The battle in the paint, it has clearly been won by Michigan State in this game to this point.
Well, Sacre has worked to get open, and his guards have not done a great job of making it an emphasis to get it in.
Spartans, meanwhile, are getting a touchdown low every single possession now. Trice steps into the 2, came up short. Gower with the rebound. We'll see if the Zags can push some tempo here. Bell is trying to do that. He turned the corner and drew the foul. So that sends us to a timeout. Final 7:45 when we come back. Michigan State up by 13. Well, Draymond Green of Michigan State having a career night here on the road in Spokane. He and the Spartans have a 59-46 lead with 7:45 to go. Dave Fleming, Dan Dockage back with you. And Dan, it's not been all Draymond Green, but certainly he's a huge reason why the Spartans have opened this game up.
Well, it's rare that a power forward makes the other guys better. Usually you think of a point guard that makes other guys better. But in this game, Draymond Green, I think he's getting cheated. They only have him for 3 assists. Seems like he has far more than that. He's moved the ball. He's gotten the ball to the right people. He's been patient. He's rebounded. He's defended. He's had an All-American type of game.
He's already tied his career high with 26 points. Sacre's got 14 points. It feels like an even bigger discrepancy than that, the way this second half in particular has gone.
Well, he only has 5 shots. Now, he's been fouled enough, but his guards just aren't looking. They're not making him a priority.
Gary Bell, nice through the defense to score. Stockton went for the steal. Trice rejected, and it goes off of Pangos out of bounds.
Great play by Sacre here, reacting to the drive by Trice. You just can't fall in college when you're a guard. You have to jump up, not forward. When you fall, a big guy's going to come over and block it.
Wood used the shot fake to draw the foul against Bell.
You know, one of the things that's very Michigan State-like in this game that they were lacking last year, you haven't seen any bad shots. When they've come close to taking a bad shot, it's ended up being a shot fake as opposed to somebody shooting. Last year, I felt like the guards that they had took bad shots during every game, and numerous bad shots.
Well, I agree with you. I've been impressed. They've had a very patient game in the half court on offense. But Trice this time throws the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Trice did the same thing we've been talking about Pangos. He saw a man there and just threw it and turned to go do something else. He's going to have to come out.
A learning moment for the freshman. The senior Thornton comes in to replace him.
Trice has a special place in Tom Izzo's heart. He played with Brandon Dawson. Izzo wasn't recruiting him, but in watching Brandon Dawson's AAU team in the summer, Izzo fell in love with him. Offered him a scholarship, and now he's playing valuable minutes.
Big possessions for the Bulldogs, trying to scratch their way closer. Pangos step back 3. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Michigan State.
And that's just a bad shot, Dave. They had worked the ball a little bit. Sacre had set a ball screen and was diving on the block, and Pangos never even gave him a look.
Well, he's an outstanding freshman, but he's just 2 for 7 with 4 points in this game.
And somebody has to get in the middle of this zone. This is a 3-2 zone, so the middle, down low to the baseline, corner shooters or slot shooters on top.
Appling found Wood, 3-pointer, in and out, rebound Payne, poked away, but a foul. I guess, Dan, part of the reason why the Bulldogs have gone to a zone here is to try to cut off the offense down low, but it can be difficult to rebound defensively if you're in a zone.
Yeah, 2 straight possessions they've gone to the zone, Dave, and Michigan State looks very uncomfortable. They don't have anybody right now in the game that's comfortable playing in the middle of the zone. Bird is not, Thornton is not, and Payne is not. Got a little bit bailed out there with an offensive rebound.
Payne shows a nice touch at the free throw line. He's played really well.
Michigan State fans will understand how much this kid has improved from the start of the year, even from the Florida State game that we did a few weeks ago to right now. He looks like 50% better, and 75%, whatever high number you want to pick in terms of confidence. He's a different guy right now for Michigan State.
Spectacular athlete. And the game seems to be getting a little easier for him.
And you make a great point, because the game was not easy for him 2 weeks ago. It was very difficult. See, this ball should have gone right back in.
Stockton, though, threw it in.
Just knock it in.
David Stockton into double figures, trying to get his Bulldogs going. The fans trying to help out as well.
Here you see Michigan State just not comfortable against this zone. And Tom Izzo knows it.
Yep. Timeout for the Spartans to try to get organized.
And the reason I say that, when you watch a 3-2 zone, if the perimeter is matched up, the offensive perimeter is matched up against a defender, then you as an offense are not comfortable. Against a 3-2, there should be 2 guys on top in the gap between defenders. There's 2 gaps on top. Michigan State didn't have that. There were 3 guys on top, and when you're 3 on top against a 3-man zone, you're matched up. When you're 2 on top against a 3-man zone, you can drive into the gaps, play 1 in the middle, 1 on the baseline.
So part of what Tom Izzo may well be talking about. Meanwhile, Tuesday, ESPN, college basketball, 7 Eastern, Pat Summitt and the Tennessee Lady Vols against Rutgers. Then at 9 Eastern, Central Michigan and Minnesota on ESPN Tuesday.
What Tom Izzo did here on the timeout is bring Draymond Green. You'll see Draymond Green in the middle of the zone. You'll see Wood on the baseline, and Thornton and Appling will be on top.
Well, they definitely missed him, even just for a couple of minutes. 26 points, and he has been the focal point, just about everything the Spartans have done on offense tonight.
Man-to-man now for Gonzaga.
Stockton matched up with Appling. Bad pass, steal Gonzaga. Stockton's been feeling it from the outside. Little hesitation move and a hand check foul, which will be number 7 against Michigan State, and means Stockton goes to the line for a 1-and-1.
Well, previous possession, Appling throws the ball to him cutting. You see Tom Izzo just kind of smiling in frustration. He's taking Wood out. Wood made a nice cut and just took his eyes off the ball. That's the 5th time in this game we've seen somebody just take their eyes off of the ball. You know, Bo Ryan is a great coach. Wisconsin always at the top of the Big Ten. And every day in practice, he does the most mundane passing drills just because he's always believed that you can pass it, and you can catch it, you can run offense. And we've seen a lot of bad pass and catch in this game.
Stockton made 1 of 2. Lead is down to 8.
Draymond Green needs to get in the middle of the zone.
Back to the zone here. Trice finds Green, who scores.
Great play by Trice. Finding Draymond Green. Last time Trice shot it, got it blocked. This time smart enough to find Green.
Sacre working hard to get open. Zags couldn't get him the ball. Pangos had a tough game. Kevin Pangos. Stockton got fouled again. Trice just hit him with a forearm.
He's smart. He's a good, I don't care who his dad is. He's a good player on his own right. Yeah, right here, you're going to see Trice kind of slide to the baseline, take the ball down to the short corner. When you go to the short corner, somebody has to fill ball side in the middle, and Green did a nice job of filling.
Earns the second free throw. Young David Stockton, son of the Hall of Famer John Stockton. Came up short, and then the carom goes right off of his shins and out of bounds. Does not fluster Dad.
Yeah, I guarantee you internally it is churning for John Stockton far more than it ever did when he was a player either here or in the pros.
Trice, after breaking some pressure, lobs one up, and it goes off of Payne out of bounds. Spartans wanted a pushing foul. Didn't get the call. Gonzaga really dodged the bullet there. Time not the friend of the Bulldogs. Are down 9, 4:20 to go. Stockton another three. Good! Three run for the Bulldogs. Stockton's got their last 8, and that's a travel. Momentum on the side of Gonzaga. Could be a classic here tonight. These two teams have played a classic in the recent past. We'll remember that one right after this. Gonzaga's on a run here at home. They've cut the lead down to 62-56. So a real entertaining game here. A long way to go before it matches one matchup between these two programs in Maui in 2005. Maybe the greatest game in the history of the Maui Invitational. Adam Morrison set a tournament record. He had 43 for Gonzaga, a game that ultimately went to triple overtime. Gonzaga won 109-106. They would lose to Connecticut in the final the next day, but it was an unforgettable game. The star of that game earlier today, Dan, was just across the street in Old Martin Gym, getting a little workout in.
Yeah, they said he's waiting on a call, see if or where he ends up. Had a good half a year in Serbia, played very well. They think he's found his confidence, waiting on an NBA call.
I would imagine he's watching his Bulldogs, who have gone on a run here. A chance to cut into the lead even further. Harris posting up against Draymond Green. Good defense by Green, though. Bell to Sacre. 13 to shoot. Sacre had it stripped away, stolen by Michigan State.
Well, it was a disjointed possession. Sacre never looked at the rim, and once Michigan State saw he was in trouble, converged on him and stripped the basketball.
18th turnover for the Bulldogs. Appling finds Green. His three. What a night for Draymond Green.
Harris, for some reason, just sank into the middle of the lane, leaving Green.
Now Stockton comes up short. Harris saves it to Pangos. His three. The answer. Stockton almost stole it away from Appling. Now a timeout, Michigan State. Tom Izzo didn't like the way that possession started. Well, back-to-back threes, Dan.
You've got to know who the guy is in the game, and Draymond Green is the guy, whether it's passing, shooting, but right back at you. A scrum underneath the basket, kicked out to Pangos, and Pangos gets one to go. This game is going to come down to the more disciplined team here. Michigan State has to be aware of shooters now. Pangos just hit one. You can't let a guy that's made 9 threes in a game beat you here at the end, so maybe you stay home with him when the ball goes onto the block. And for Gonzaga, they can't commit silly fouls out on the perimeter late clock as Michigan State's hanging onto the ball, running their high ball screen action. Both are a form of discipline in basketball.
Well, you see the record for the Bulldogs all time in the McCarthy Athletic Center, 92-6. It takes a performance like Draymond Green is having. Not just the 31 points, Dan. He has made his last 10 shots from the field. A career night for Draymond Green. He and the Spartans have the ball out of the timeout now. 17 seconds to shoot. Bulldogs need to stop.
Good move. Going to the zone has Michigan State a little bit uneasy.
Appling baseline, a foul against Sacre.
And that's what I was talking about. Late clock, Michigan State's going to drive the basketball. You have to be disciplined enough not to foul and make guys make plays.
So a silly foul for Sacre, his 4th of the game. Brings Appling to the line for the 1-and-1 free throws. Both teams in the bonus. You can see below the score. A quiet game for Appling. not quite in here until that free throw. Both teams with a couple of timeouts. Arrow favors the Bulldogs and Mark Few. But the score favors Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Appling will try to make it an 8-point lead.
The only criticism I would say of the place is the people behind the basket. Some of them are sitting down in crunch time. They got to get up, wave, do something.
Harris on the low block against Green. No good. Rebound Knicks. More good defense from Draymond Green.
It was terrific defense. He just moved his feet and made Harris shoot over him.
He has done it all tonight. Elias Harris is 2 for 11 from the field. Under 2 minutes to play. Green gets the catch. Trice against the big guy Sacre. Now the mismatch down low, and Pangos had to commit the foul.
Veteran play by Travis Trice and Draymond Green. Trice, when he got the ball back, recognized because Green told him that Sacre was on. Green yelled at him to look on the post where Knicks had a mismatch. This is as impressive a leadership game as I have seen in 2 years of broadcasting these games by Draymond Green.
He has done everything for the Spartans. Knicks misses the free throw. And now the Bulldogs are really going to have to hurry. Just 1:39 to go. Down by 8, and it could be 9 after this free throw from Derek Nix, who I think, despite the modest numbers, has played well in this game.
He's played very well. This will be 2 straight games. He's played very well for the Spartans.
Missed them both, though. And a sliver of hope for the Bulldogs. Stockton all the way against contact, followed by Sacre. Two-possession game. Final minute, 15. And another timeout for Tom Izzo. So the Spartans will get organized. Gives us a chance to remind you, coming up Tuesday, ESPN college basketball action. First in the women's game, Tennessee and Rutgers at 7 Eastern, then Central Michigan and Minnesota at 9 Eastern Tuesday on ESPN. Well, both sides huddling up here, Dan, and for Michigan State, clearly the advantageous position here, up 6 with the ball, 1:11 to go.
Michigan State with 19 seconds. They'll hang on to it, run a high ball screen look if they don't get something out of a back cut early in the possession. But late in the clock here, they'll go to high ball screen. Then, if you get the stop and you're Gonzaga, you don't need to jack up a 3. You need to take the ball and do exactly what Stockton did the previous possession. Take the ball at the rim. If a penetrating pitch comes about for a 3, great. If not, go to the rim, create for others, or force help where you can offensive rebound. But this will be a high ball screen late clock for Michigan State.
The man of the night, Draymond Green, is the inbounder here. Throws it into the backcourt. That helps the Spartans take some more clock off. Appling all alone up top. And a foul against Stockton. Could have been a travel. They call the block.
Well, they felt good, Michigan State did, about Appling taking Stockton. So instead of bringing a ball screener up, they just cleared it, went 1-4 flat. I think that's a bad call. I think that Stockton had moved, squared his shoulders, put himself in a position to be ran over by the offensive player, Appling.
Double bonus for Appling, makes the first big free throw. Now a 7-point lead. I think Appling thought he had traveled. I think he was surprised to see the call.
And I think he's right. I think he did travel and foul, but yet he's at the line.
One more for the sophomore Appling.
Now here, if you're Gonzaga, this ball has to be pushed up as fast as you can push it up. Spread your shooters out and go at the rim with a high ball screen. And
Pangos, one of those shooters. Here's Elias Harris. Harris, another missed shot, but a foul called, and it's going to go against Draymond Green.
well, you have to get points every possession. You just do. And then you pick up full court. You create a trap situation. Maybe you get a steal, miss free throw. You just keep getting points. Take a quick three, miss. Game's over.
Now they need these. Harris makes the first. 7-point lead, Michigan State. When we're finished here, ESPN Films has the Marinovich Project. That'll follow us from Spokane. One more for Elias Harris. Very tough night for the junior. Makes both that time. Back to a 6-point edge. Michigan State. There is a difference between game clock and shot clock, but Dan, do the Bulldogs need to start fouling?
Yeah, absolutely. You try to get a trap, steal the pass out of the trap. If not, you go foul.
Appling.
This is the pass you try to steal.
Out of bounds. And that was off of Gonzaga, apparently. It could have been a turnover. Spartans keep it. More pressure from Gonzaga. Trice catches. Here's the trap. Hart goes in to rip it away, but they call the foul.
That's a bad call. Oh, he called it on number 4. He called it on Pangos. Our angle, we have perfect angle on it. Hart stole the ball. Pangos going to come in from the backside here, but Hart steals it right there. Hart has the ball. And the foul is called not on number 30, but on number 4, right there.
Well, even that, you can make an argument that the ball was just ripped away. No foul. Another missed free throw, though, for Michigan State.
Same thing here. Right now, you're talking about a 6-point deficit, possibly a 7-point deficit. Get something, spread them out, go at the rim, drop it off, kick it out, go all the way to the basket.
Missed them both. Rebound Gonzaga. Bulldogs have to hurry here.
Too many guys in
Final 40
one spot.
seconds. Pangos still just dribbling. He stepped out of bounds.
No spacing to start the possession. 3 guys for Gonzaga were all convened in the same spot. They didn't run their lanes. Pangos got jammed up. You see right there, he steps out of bounds.
Now you had to come away with points there. Gonzaga did. Now they'll set up the same pressure.
Now you just have to foul.
Appling, nobody is fouling him until Hart rides it with the body. Hart's complaining, but you can't let any more time tick away.
They had time. Difference between the setup there for Gonzaga, guarding their man, and leaving Appling open, was Gonzaga didn't have a Draymond Green. When the ball was dead, nobody on Gonzaga was communicating who was guarding who. Nobody picked up Appling, who's the guy you'd have to pick up. He's the point guard. Time ran off.
He's been the most steady free throw shooter. First of 2. Back to a 7-point advantage, Michigan State. Trying to get just the 7th win by any team in this building since it opened. Gonzaga's 92-6 all time here. Appling second, no good. Now some missed free throws, keeping hope alive for the Bulldogs. Out of bounds off of Gonzaga.
We've been talking about it all game. The ball handlers for Gonzaga passing by raising up. Their Bell uncomfortable bringing the ball down the floor. Went to make a simple wing pass, and instead of sitting down making the pass, he raised up. And he threw it where hands were. So it deflects off a Michigan State player. Hits a Gonzaga player.
Stockton goes for the steal. Now Green up the court. Precious seconds ticking away. Trice gets fouled. Down to 21.2 left. And now Michigan State, all they have to do is take care of things at the line not commit some silly plays, and the Spartans are going to get a win.
You guys, a three-point line. Michigan State needs to make sure. 21 seconds. I'm sure at some point in Tom Izzo's career, somebody's ran off about 9 points in 21 seconds, and that sticks with you your entire coaching career. So you spread guys out, go to the rim, fine, lay it in, fine, but you're not getting a three here.
He didn't look that relaxed there.
No, because it's happened to him, I promise you, somewhere along the line.
A lot of missed free throws here down the stretch. Bulldogs have been turning it over. They haven't taken advantage. Stockton's three, and he's fouled. Now that counts as a terrible mistake. That cannot happen.
That absolutely cannot happen. High ball screen, Appling out of control trying to get over top of it, but he had help because Green was already there. Just fell into Stockton.
First of three for David Stockton, who's had a career game himself against a big-time opponent. The sophomore, former walk-on. Misses that one. He has left some points at the free throw line, though. For a guy who normally is extraordinarily good at the line. Doesn't waste time there.
No. Appling, the difference in Appling. Appling hangs on to the ball and has lunch, shoots a free throw. Stockton gets it, gets rid of it.
Here's Green, and Green was fouled. Last team to beat the Bulldogs here, St. Mary's. Gales last season got the win here against the Bulldogs, had a chance to win the WCC outright, but Gonzaga returned the favor at St. Mary's, and so the Bulldogs shared their 11th consecutive WCC title.
How about winning 11 straight titles? The all-time record is 13 by UCLA. Randy Bennett at St. Mary's does a tremendous job. He gets kids. He had the Australian connection.
It's going to be a very spirited WCC season this year with BYU now in the league. A couple of free throws there. Gonzaga, Stockton, all the way to the basket. Stockton scores. And a timeout for Mark Few. 5-point lead, Michigan State, 7.6 seconds to go. Draymond Green, the captain, three-time captain for this Michigan State program. One of the best all-around players in college basketball. Having an incredible night, 32 points, and it really doesn't even tell the whole story how he's got those points and his leadership for Michigan State.
You're absolutely right. It does not tell the story. You would think it would. 11 of 13, 32 points. That tells a pretty big story. Made 10 in a row. But it really doesn't. He has directed everybody on the court, put them in spots, made everybody on the team better with his passing, his defense, his help side, his communication. It's as good a performance as I have seen this entire basketball season. The season's young, but this has been a great performance by Draymond Green.
And Judd Heathcote, who, of course, had Magic Johnson at Michigan State. I'm not comparing the two, but a big guy who could do a little bit of everything. Great passer, of course.
Well, there are a couple comparisons. Both have big personalities. Both have big smiles. Draymond Green's the best interview in the Big Ten. He'll come over to you, talk, and he doesn't introduce himself to me anymore, but he wants to talk. He'll tell you how he's going. He gives you something interesting. And as you said, a 3-year captain and a terrific leader. So there are plenty of similarities for Michigan State basketball, not necessarily professional basketball where their legacy is, but in terms of Michigan State basketball, there are very clear similarities between Magic Johnson and Draymond Green.
And Magic Johnson, who stays in close touch with the Spartans program, has talked a lot to Draymond Green. This is a big free throw here if the Bulldogs have any chance, and Green gets it to go. Fitting that he could have the final two for the Spartans. Stockton hoists up another three. Loose ball, horn sounds, game over, and what a nice win for the all-time wins leader at Michigan State, Tom Izzo. He and Mark Few shake hands. It was a battle tonight.